Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Eating with Eldine. I'm here to show you guys a little new series that I'm working up here. I don't know what I'm gonna call it yet. It's either gonna be called like Cook With Me or Learn With Me, I don't know, some shit like that. But basically, I'm gonna try a recipe that I've never done before, and I'm gonna take you guys along with me. So once I create my recipe, I've been writing down the measurements, and once I kind of perfect it, I will put that recipe in the description box or make it available to you somehow. So thank you guys again for joining me. It's Eating with Eldine. Let's get ready to cook some shit. Jeez! Okay guys, so before we get into the actual food, what I'm going to do is show you what I'm drinking today. I have a little white wine, sipping on some wine. And this is a German wine that I got from LCBO. Hopefully when this goes on YouTube and it flips, you guys can see it. But just in case that doesn't work, I will show you the label from all angles because I might have to rotate this video. But yeah, I will put this wine in the description box. This is what I'm drinking on, sipping on today. Alright, so let's get right into it. So I love wontons. I love wontons and I've been wanting to make them for a while. So today I'm going to make chicken wontons. Yay! I have never made chicken wontons before. So here I'm starting with a pound of ground chicken. To this I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of garlic that I minced up already. One tablespoon of ginger. Everything out. This smells good alone, honestly. Just the ginger and garlic is nice. I have 2 tablespoons of green onion. Now, every time I've cooked with ground chicken, I have to use so much more seasoning than I intend because it really needs a lot of flavor. It's pretty bland on its own, quite frank, so it needs a lot of seasoning, a lot of flavor, and a lot of time to marinate to really soak up everything. Beef and ground pork has a higher fat content, so it just naturally is more flavorful of a ground cut of meat. Chicken, however, is just naturally more lean, so when you grind it, you don't have the benefit of having that marbling to the same degree as you do beef or pork to impart moisture and flavor when you cook. So because of that, I'm also going to add a little cornstarch slurry that I made. I know some people add eggs, but my mom is allergic to eggs, so most of my recipes I try to not use eggs as much as possible. So the cornstarch slurry will just help kind of bind it together. I mean, this is my intention. These are my hopes. Again, I've never made this before. You know, your girl knows a little one too, so. Okay, so I should have mixed the cornstarch before I dumped it in, but it's all good. Okay, so my slurry's in. See already how it has that kind of consistency there where it was hanging off the spoon? That's going to help coagulate the chicken mixture, so that way when everything steams up and cooks, it retains in the little like meatball form inside of the wonton and doesn't come out. So next to that I have half a cup of diced Nappa cabbage. I love Nappa cabbage, and honestly I've been looking for a reason to use it. Like, I don't have a reason to buy it, so I haven't bought it, but I've been meaning to make kimchi, so I think I will make some kimchi with the rest of the head. And this was just 3 leaves that I minced up really finely, and it came out to half a cup. So to this now I'm going to add some Chinese 5-spice. I love the flavors of Chinese 5-spice. And inside the 5 spices that make up Chinese 5-spice are anise, clove, fennel, cinnamon, and pepper. That was a fucked up 5, but yeah, those are the 5 spices that are in Chinese 5-spice. It has like a smoky, licoricey kind of flavor to it. A little bit goes a long way, but I really like how it makes chicken taste, so I'm going to put a little bit of that. Again, this is a pound of chicken, so I mean, it could take the seasoning, but I definitely don't want to over season it with the 5-spice because it is pretty strong. Okay, now I'm going to add a little bit of chili flakes because I like a little bit of heat in mine, and I don't have any fresh chilies that I want to mix into this. I don't really want to add scotch bonnet, like that's not the flavor profile I'm going for with this. What I probably will try, like a Trini style or Jamaican style wonton, so I could, you know, play around with the flavors a bit. That'll be fun. So I'm going to put in about a tablespoon now of sesame oil. Sesame oil is the truth. I love sesame oil. It has a really rich, toasted, smoky flavor. This is the brand. Again, I'll give you all the angles. Yes. So in one of my last videos, in one of the vlogs I did when I was in Trinidad, when I was making the pak choy, so that was Trini vlog number 2. Trini vlog number 2. I used sesame oil when I was stir frying the pak choy. So it's something I use quite frequently. Black pepper, so crucial to have a pepper mill. The whole point of the dial part of the mill is to adjust the coarseness of the ground. So, you know, the higher up it is, obviously, the more coarse the ground, and the closer down it is, the finer. I like mine somewhere in the middle. So about there is how I like mine. And I'm just gonna crack some pepper in here. See, spices I don't always measure. Like, I can definitely give you guys the measurements for like herbs and veggies, but when it comes to spices, that's just like a feel for me. And I use my nose a lot. My dad taught me how to smell through the food, so when I'm cooking something, I can kind of adjust the seasoning just based on me smelling it before even tasting it. Because I mean, sometimes you can't taste the seasoning. For instance, using using ground raw meat, I can't taste it the same way as if I was stewing this or braising it, so you kind of have to rely on your nose. The last ingredient I'm going to put is the most popular and the most needed is salt. Now this kind of looks like a lot, but again, it's chicken, it's bland as shit. It's really going to need that salt, and I don't have anything else providing salt content to this, so that's good. Okay, now I'm going to go in with my hands and mix everything up. Really work it. I should have put a towel under the bowl. It's a bit too late. But yeah, you can put a little towel underneath your bowl. That way when you are mixing things, your bowl doesn't move around. Okay, and I know I'm kind of going at this weird, but I don't want to over mix it. But I want to make sure that everything's properly incorporated. You hear that noise? Yeah, that's what you're looking for. Oh, the texture of ground chicken is just so smooth. I really want to work this through my fingers here. Okay, now I'm going to kind of go a bit harder because I want the texture to be a bit gummy because, again, I want it to retain the little ball form that I put it in the middle of the wonton. So just kind of mixing in the cornstarch slurry properly, make everything coagulate. Now traditionally people would use chopsticks to mix this, but I don't mind getting them with my hand. I'm good at eating with chopsticks, but cooking with chopsticks is a bit of a different story, to be honest. Okay, so now everything is mixed in. This is smelling pretty good. Let me smell it one more time, see if I need to adjust anything. No, perfect. How I'm smelling it on my fingers is exactly how I want it to smell. I could smell the ginger coming through, the 5 spice, the sesame oil is perfect, the amount of pepper. I may need to adjust salt though. I think it needs a bit more salt. So let me wash my hands and I will add some salt to this and mix it up and we'll be back. Okay, so my hands are all washed and squeaky clean. I'm gonna add a little bit more salt to this because no one likes fresh chicken. Like, there's literally nothing worse than fresh chicken. And I know a lot of people use MSG when they're making wontons and things like that, which I don't use, so I could add a bit extra salt. Cool. That is good. Now the fun part. Again, I've never made wontons. Oh, wait, shout out to my nail polish. It is color changing. I thought that's so cute. Okay, yeah. So I've never made wontons before, so I'm feeling really good about this filling right now. It smells perfect. I think it has the right balance. So now on to the fun part / the hard part is actually going to be filling the wontons. So I'm going to cover my cutting board here with some plastic wrap, just that way nothing sticks. Wipe it off quick. Have a big piece of saran wrap here. Just going to cover my board like that. I mean, you don't have to do this because you are going to wash your cutting board, so I'm not really worried about contamination. It's just more so that the wonton wrappers don't stick. A little sip of wine. This wine is good. Not too sweet, not too dry, just right. Okay, so what I'm also going to do is I have a little ramekin here filled with water. I'm going to need that when I'm actually like wrapping my wontons. So because this is my first time making it, I wanted to use store-bought wonton wrappers just so I can get a feel for it, get a hang of it. And then next time I make it, I'm going to go the full way and I'm going to make the wrappers myself. So wonton wrappers are flour based. This one has egg in it. I'm going to see if I can find an eggless recipe just so my mom can enjoy it, because she loves Asian food, but she can't eat eggs, so sometimes that makes things a bit difficult for her. And my dad is allergic to shellfish, like he's anaphylactic, so I can really empathize with people who want to eat certain types of cuisines but may have allergies or intolerances that prevent them from doing so. Oh, these are stuck. Okay. Alright. So the package says used from frozen, but how the fuck? Alright. I'm gonna have to do one at a time. Okay. So let me do the first couple layers here and not try to be too ambitious. Lace them down. Okay, this is definitely doable. Love how this feels. So I'm currently in culinary school, and one of the things definitely that one of my professors stresses is assembly line type production. So when you can, it's easiest and most efficient to assemble your items in kind of an assembly line fashion. So versus me doing this one by one, I'm going to take out a row of wonton wrappers and kind of go at it that way. Take out a couple more. Okay, so I took these out the freezer a bit before I even started to prep and record, but I would say it needs a bit more time. So that's something I can recommend. And I think this will be a dope series because I kind of like how raw and candid it is. Like, you guys are going to see me fuck up, but you guys will also see me fix it. So, alright, so taking my spoon now and my delicious filling, what I'm going to do is take a spoonful of the mixture and I'm going to put it in the middle. I don't want to overfill the wonton too much. Okay. This is like making ravioli. Can't lie, this is pretty relaxing and I'm really enjoying this. And so how I'm getting the actual filling out of the wrapper is once I'm placing the wrapper in my hand like so, I'm just kind of using my 2 fingers underneath here to press it up and scoop it out of the spoon. Okay. And this is definitely something you could do with a bunch of people. Grab some of your homegirls, you know what I mean? You guys could drink, chill out, make some wontons, or anything small and foldable. Basically, small and foldable is fun to do in groups. So like if you're making samosas, if you're making turnovers, anything really small and cute like this, even if you're making roti, making it with a bunch of people is definitely enjoyable. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip my finger in some of this water here and kind of go around all 4 corners of my wrappers. This is just going to help when it comes time to sealing it. Okay. I've always wanted to make my own wontons, so here we are. Okay, so now I'm going to take my wonton, I'm going to fold it in half. So I put the filling inside, I'm just kind of patting around the outside to squish it in, same on both sides. And now I'm going to take the 2 corners and kind of fold them into each other. and create a little shape like that and pull it back. So again, like, I'm not really making like a shape per se. This is just kind of things I've seen. I guess I'm putting my own twist on it. I'm not really sure. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then there's one. Alright, so another one. Take it up, fold it over, press it out. Take this corner, fold it, put a little water on the back side to glue it, tuck, and pull it back, kind of open it like a flower. Alright, and that's the shape I'm going for. Or that's the shape I'm going with, I should say, because I mean, if that wasn't the shape I'm going for, it's definitely the shape I ended up with. Okay, now be careful after you wet the perimeter when you're folding it over, because you don't really want to make a mistake and have to lift it up too much. But because your filling inside is pliable, you can kind of just squish it with your fingers and move it around. If it wasn't in the center, you can kind of push it more in the center. Really give yourself a nice seam. Nice. Some water. Dab the edge. I'm going to tuck it together and pull it back and down. Okay, or not. There we go. You can have fun with this. Like, there's no real right or wrong shapes. You just want to keep in mind that when it cooks, the filling will take the most part, and you want to make sure that all of the wrapper is cooked and it's not like gummy or super soft and gross. Alright. Perfect. I think this will steam well. Okay, let me demo one more for you guys. Fold it. Seal it back over. Well, you fancy, huh? Okay, let me do one more for you guys. So just like when you're balling up, you want to fold up the tings. Cool. Then you want to kind of roll it back down. Make sure everything sits in it nice. You don't want any of your contents to leak out. Okay. You know, if your blend's dry, you gotta put a little water on it, rinse it off, make sure it's pliable, same idea. And seal it a bit right here. Perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of these, and then I will show you how to properly cook and store and eat these. So we'll be back in just a sec. Okay, so my wontons are almost done. They've been boiling for about 15 minutes now. I was doing other shit, cleaning up the kitchen, you know, making sure everything was all good. Over here I have my noodles, so I will show you what brand of noodles I use. So these are the brand of noodles that I use, Mama. I like Thai and Vietnamese style noodles, so these ones, this is coriander flavor. It comes with really thin rice noodles. I actually cut the rice noodles in half for this. I put in the palm oil, the seasoning mix, the hot pepper, and then I added in, well, I'm going to add in some green onion and some shadow beni. So over here, I have my wontons and my bok choy. And I'm just going to fish these out. Shake off a little excess. Place this in here. Okay, so 10 wontons is probably too much. Let me leave back 3. These little strainers are your best friend, by the way. If you don't have one, I highly recommend getting one. Also, it is really hard to film this shit with my left hand, but watch, in the next year, I'm gonna be amazing. I'm gonna be completely ambidextrous because I'm recording with my right hand and doing shit with the left hand, but I'm amped. Okay, cool. So, this is the noodle soup. Let me garnish it up and we can go in for a taste. So now we're gonna top off our wonton salad. I have some green onions and some shadow beni. Hit that right there. Yes. Go in with a little bit more. I love some herbs. I love me some aromatics. So like all the green shit, yes. From when I was a kid, I was probably the only person I knew that actually liked the garnish. Yes. Okay. Thank you guys for tuning into Eating with Eldine. I'm going to call this little segment where I learn a new thing and record it, learn with me. So thank you for tuning into my first episode of Learn With Me for my chicken wontons. I will have the recipe in the description. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Thanks, guys.